It's 7 o'clock. My name is Vince Noblet. I'm president of the Speedway Town Council. Today is April the 12th, 2021. I'm going to call the first meeting to order in our new location here at the Speedway Municipal Center. Start off by roll call. To my right is David Lindsay.
Good evening.
To his right is Eileen Fisher.
Good evening.
To my far left is our town attorney, Bob Clutter.
Howdy do.
To his right would be our town clerk treasurer, Jacob Bladesdale.
Good evening.
His right is our councilman, Gary Pittigo.
Good evening.
And to my left is vice president of the council, Gary.
Good evening.
Drop the mic. First on the agenda is I want to call for a pledge of allegiance. If everybody would please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next on the agenda is approval of minutes. These minutes have been submitted to the council for approval. Take a motion for approval as submitted to the council.
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes as presented.
Okay.
I'll second.
Get a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next is the introduction of Audrey Newben. If you'd step up to the mic, Audrey. Appreciate it. He's our feature town artist tonight, and I really appreciate you coming out and showing your work. It's very impressive, and it's great to have it on our first town council meeting here tonight.
Thank you. It's one of the legitimate great honors as an artist that I've had, and I've done a lot of wonderful things, but there's something special about Speedway, about the town and the community, and I just can't thank really the Arts Council and Tim Gropp and just the faith that they had in me to capture all the many great things that Speedway has to honor. So if ever Speedway calls and wants something, I definitely want to be involved. It's just fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming tonight. You might tell the public how you got involved with the Arts Council.
Back, 5 years ago when the old building on Main Street existed, they had a sign out that said, looking for artists. And I just happened to be spending one evening driving through, going to wherever, Dawson's or whatever. And I said, why not? And it required some investment of time and, effort. But, it was one of those things that I knew could help my brand. You know what I mean? And anytime you can connect greater and outreach with a community and people is a good thing. So that was 5 years ago, and through many incarnations and different shapes and forms that the council has taken, I've just been involved in it either as an artist or as a member. And then when this latest endeavor came about, and they asked me, would this be something I'd be interested in? I was like, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, to be connected with this building and this community and this night and moving forward, what more could you ask for? So it's really a genuine honor. It really is. And we don't live in Speedway. We literally live a stone's throw outside of Speedway. But we're Foyt Club wine members, and You know, we know the bartenders at all the different establishments. And so I think we contribute to the bottom line of Speedway. It's a reciprocal relationship.
Absolutely.
So,
We appreciate that.
thank you. Thank you, guys. And I appreciate you having me, but more importantly, to have my talent, to have my skills used to help open this is truly an honor.
Right. You might leave your card, but, Tim, I'm sure you got his contact information.
Oh, yeah.
And if we have inquiries or somebody would like to speak to you about a project.
Yep, so a couple people
Definitely,
already have. So, yeah, Tim, there are going to be some people going to contact you, so.
Yeah.
We're going to get you a Colts hat, I know that.
Oh, I have Colts gear, but cut my arm, that's orange and brown blood, man. That's it.
We just need you to wear it once a month or so.
We can make an arrangement.
Just on Sunday.
Just to fill in a couple gaps here. So one of the things we wanted to do in this building is connect with the community in more ways that we can. One of those, especially from the redevelopment efforts, is quality of place and supporting local artists and having public art available. So we anticipate working with the Arts Council, who's been wonderful on setting this up. The SRC has provided the hangars in here, and we have them in here too. We haven't quite got the art in here yet, but our intent is to have rotating art displays specifically in the public areas. It displays a local artist, but it also keeps your building fresh and allows people to see different forms of art. So Audrey stepped up and is participating. To your point, there will be QR codes. Everything on the walls is for sale, and it'll have a feature you'll be able to see about the artist. And we'll rotate this not only with local artists, but we'll also have times where the schools can display their art as well. So we're really excited to see this art, rotating art display continue on and keep the building fresh and allow our local artists to be seen.
Perfect.
Tim, excuse me, Audrey, for those in the Arts Commission that are on the commission, if you could come forward at this time, we'd appreciate it. I know some of you were here earlier, some might have had to leave, but the Arts Commission, if you could come forward, those that are here. And maybe, Katie, you're the president of the Arts Commission. If you could maybe introduce yourself and your members that are here and some of the things Tim was talking about, you've had a significant hand in. And
Okay.
we're just excited to have a couple of new members of the Art Commission here and one that's been with us for a little while as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Gary. And thank you for the town council for having us decorate your walls of this new building with this beautiful art. My name's Katie Myers. I am the president of the Arts Council. And this is Bruce Levy, who's been on the Arts Council for a number of years, and Chris Nussbaum, who is a new member of the Arts Council. You wanna say?
You're welcome.
Right. You're doing a great job. I know you're new in the role of president and you have new members and longstanding member, but appreciate
Yes.
the work you're doing. You've got a lot of momentum going already.
Thank you. We'll have new artists every 2 months to be on the walls, and we'll do a different feature and just publicize their art and have people come in to purchase it here in the new building.
I think there's a big opportunity for the town of Speedway to incorporate art and, projects and new community space that is going to be coming available. Like I told you before, even the park, the small park that will be on 14th and Main. I think we could use that and incorporate a lot of your ideas into things to bring art out to the public. Up and down Main Street, I think we need to basically bring art out to the public and also recognize the heritage that we have in this town from manufacturing and industry, of course, the 500 and the depth that it brings to this community. But we definitely look forward to seeing the art within the town of Speedway grow.
Agreed. And this new art council that we have this year, that you just appointed, has a lot of different skills that they bring to the table and they're all really excited and ready to bring on all kinds of new projects for you.
Perfect.
Katie, what are you looking for from the community in terms of residents and other businesses? What besides money, and I know that maybe is something, if you're not going to say, you should, right? Because you're working without a budget.
Yeah, we're looking to be inclusive and accessible and have all arts and all forms be inclusive and accessible to the residents of Speedway and the surrounding areas.
So fine arts in addition to.
Theater.
Yes, yeah.
Performing arts, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, music, lots of
great.
music.
That's good. Thank you very much for coming up tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing your art.
Congrats on it.
Next on the agenda is proclamation honoring Bill Barton. And Norm, if you would step up with Bill. How many years have you worked together?
Well, I've been with him about 30 of his 36, so,
Is that right?
yeah.
You started at 12? That's pretty young, man.
Well, it's my pleasure to read this proclamation for Bill. Be it hereby known and proclaimed, whereas Bill has served the town of Speedway for nearly 36 years after beginning his career on June 19th, 1985, as a third shift plant operator. And whereas Bill was promoted to plant operator and groundskeeper, splitting his time taking care of the plant grounds and operating the plant. And whereas Bill began serving the town as the assistant lab technician in 2001. And whereas Bill was promoted to the role of lead lab technician in 2014, the role for which he served through the remaining tenure with the town of Speedway. And whereas Bill's dedication and eye for detail in the lab have helped ensure that accurate and reliable data was generated, aiding in the proper operation of the wastewater treatment plant and meeting regulatory obligations. And whereas Bill was a valuable asset to the town and the wastewater treatment plant. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Speedway Town Council does hereby proclaim this day, Monday, April 12th, 2021, as Bill Barton Day in the town of Speedway, and encourages residents of Speedway to celebrate his dedication and hard work in our town as he begins his retirement. Adopted this 12th day of September, 2021.
Fantastic. Bill, you're welcome to
Bill is a man of few words, so.
few words. They've have to be something that Norm has done in the past that you would like us to enlighten you on.
Go for it, Bill.
Yeah.
Well, he's allowed me to be here for 36 years, so I thank him for that. It's been an honor serving the town of Speedway for his time. I've provided a great career and opportunity, and was able to raise a good family with it. And that's all my words.
Yeah, no. I'd like to ask you, we're going to miss you from that standpoint with that many years of experience. What would you say to some younger kids coming out of high school at this point in time for as a career and the career path that you followed? You can speak to the mic. Thank you.
Be aware that of a good
Yeah.
just to be aware that the communities are willing to take care of you if you provide hard work and show up for work, and that's it.
Yeah,
That's great.
hard to find. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill.
Anything else, Norm?
Yeah, so I'll add to that. So, Bill's
Don't go anywhere, Bill.
prime example. Hey,
You're not getting off that easy.
so Bill's a prime example of a career person. So, 36 years ago, he took this job not as a job, but as a career. And so to kind of expand on what you'd asked, right now the industry is really hurting for young people. come into the industry. And so, I would encourage people that have a science background and they're interested in the environment, particularly water environment, to look into a career in wastewater treatment. It's very rewarding. But I did want to mention one thing. So one of the things that we're required to do every year, the Indiana Department of Environmental Management requires us to recertify our laboratory every year. So we have to do a QA, or a quality assurance, quality control procedure, where we have to buy these samples of all of the different items that are on our permit. And then Bill had to run them in his lab, and he had to meet a certain range in order to pass. And he aced every one of them. So that just shows you how dedicated he was to it.
Yeah, that's congratulations. I mean, that's setting a high standard, and I think it's one of those departments that the town of Speedway, it's out of sight, out of mind, and but we appreciate the hard work that you guys put down at the plant. Thanks again, and congratulations.
Thank you, Bill.
Next on tonight's agenda is I want to basically call a few members up, acknowledge of the completion of this building. Tim Gropp, you're the first one. I think I'll also call Tim Ramian. Jacob, would you mind joining him?
Sure.
David Rainey. And Jason Deerdorf. So when we started this project, little did you know that you guys were going to be the core group here, and how much responsibility and time and effort that you guys put out to really in the completion of this great building. I think it's testimonial to your work ethic and the job that you've done. If you just step up the mic and just tell the public what you did. And Tim Gropp, go ahead and start it off.
Well, I've been involved since the beginning. Jacob was the town manager at the time and worked through the acquisition of the property from PNC. I was on the design team. We had, I think it was a 7-member team, all the way through all the architecture. And then I have been kind of the point person from the town side on all the little details of the construction process. So I've been on site periodically throughout the entire process, and then into us all through the move. David Rainey and I become best friends. So we talk to each other more than our spouses, and vacations, weekends, nights. So, but that's kind of been my role through the whole process. So, and continues to be all the little details, because we're moved in, but there's still all the checklist items, but also all the logistics of running a building that we're working through right now.
So when did you start on this project? Do you remember when it started?
It was 2018.
2018?
I mean,
Go ahead, Jacob.
I think maybe I was a couple of weeks into being town manager when you guys asked me, hey, do you know, you came from finance, do you know anybody at PNC that might be willing to sell that building to us? Because we've kind of had our eye on it for a while. So that's really when it started for me, was almost the minute I joined the town. And but of course, this has been going on. This vision, this idea and concept's been going on way before I arrived. I mean, one of the key documents that was really helpful in this entire process was a study that Barbara Lawrence, when she was town manager, had put together back in 2013, looking at different sites, and this one being one of them that they were very interested in, but obviously we didn't own it. So. To answer your question, and I know Councilor Lindsay recalls from days a couple of years ago when you were early in your career, where they were talking about a new police station. So this is, as you said before we raised the flag, it's a long time coming. I certainly heard that from a lot of residents as this project has been underway.
Absolutely. And you might say was another person that's been heavily involved in this was GM Development, or Greg Martz, and how he came into play in this, Jacob, since you worked with him.
Yeah, I mean, there were a few instances and moments where I thought the project was finished and we were gonna have to back away from it or completely reimagine it one way or another. And the most distinct in my mind was after we received the public bids and basically the moment that Greg entered the picture. I don't think we'd be sitting here. Unfortunately, Greg couldn't be here tonight, but I don't think we'd be sitting here having this conversation in this building if he hadn't come into the project and helped us kind of think through some changes and adjustments to make the project work.
Great, thank you. David, you're next.
Well, thank you. David Rainey with Veritas Group. I've been the owner's rep for this project and for the town. Really, I remember talking with Jacob back in, I think it was 2019, when we were at the Indy 500. We were at an event there, and we were just talking through it. But I really we came in, started helping really kind of after the bids were received at the very tail end of the design. So it's been a pleasure to work with the town and with staff. I can't tell you what a cohesive group this has been, and Tim is right, we talk daily, multiple times. And some of the best things about a project like this, you measure success with schedule and budget, and those are all important things, and fortunately we've hit the budget on this project, which is fantastic. But also to be able to come out of a project like this strong and have it be a great project and have the collaboration that we've had with our team, with GM Development and Myron Agem and with staff and everybody else. So it's truly been a pleasure and I've enjoyed it. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for all your hard work.
Yep.
And then Tim Ramian, why don't you?
Thank you. I made sure we had toilet paper.
That's a critical.
Toilet paper, soap, hand towels. No, that was just a small part. I was responsible for closing down the annex at the shopping center and doing our change of address both for the annex and for Jacob at Town Hall. And I want to acknowledge it was really a team effort. Tammy Smith, Kelly, Joe Kramer, we all worked together not only to close that old building down, but to get things packed and then moved over here and get settled. So it's been a rough ride, but it's so much. I can see the future of this building being used by so many groups, and I'm so happy to have been part of it, getting it ready. Thank you.
Fantastic. Yeah, thank you for your time and effort. Not to be last, but.
So I'm the complaint department at the police department.
We all know that.
Just kidding. I told Councilor Fisher earlier this evening, I've built 3 houses in my lifetime, so I understand the bugs you've got to work out with new buildings. But really, as Tim said it best, this was a team effort. It's not just me or the police department, but there's a lot of people that have been involved in this, from the police department side to the street department for coming out the day of the move and removing our sign. So that wasn't an issue, but more than anything, just thanking you all and the town for providing us this new facility. It's amazing compared to what we had before. Like Jacob said, it's been a long time coming, but I think Councilor Lindsay can even remember I started in 1999. That was about the same time you went to Marion County Sheriff's Department, but at that time there was some talk about buying this building back 22 years ago. And, all those years, I think, especially the guys that have been at the police department for this long have always thought, well, what could have been if we would have moved into that facility. Now we're here and we're very appreciative of that. So thank you.
How long were you in the old building?
22 years up until, a few months ago. So it's quite a change. We're still getting settled in, but again, we couldn't have done it with the help of some of the other guys and ladies at the police department. Both officers and detectives helped out a lot with moving things. Plains was a great service that we work with, getting our furniture over here in a timely manner, getting things set up. I know I'd personally like to commend Sherry Wortley that does our property and our records. That property, especially that property room, was a monumental task, and she spent a lot of extra time here in the evenings and early mornings getting that all situated. But
It's also important, I mean, it's a property room that eventually has to go to court, right?
Right,
So-
right, absolutely. So there was a lot of small pieces to this that I think a lot of people don't understand, but the group as a whole did a great job of getting everything moved over here. So, thank you.
Jason, was it true about the rumor that the actual fire department had come in and clean up after you guys moved out?
That's a lie.
That was a rumor that was going around.
I will tell you that I personally swept the carpet myself before I left that building, and a week later, when I came back, it was a mess. So,
Yeah, and
Bob and I will have to talk about that later.
I think where there is a tort claim from Bob, was it Planes Moving? Was it because of the chief's furniture was so heavy that, it broke a couple of people's backs on the way in there?
Possible. That's possible.
Okay.
And the guy standing here at the podium, he'd have to be the guy that had 2 pieces of his furniture broken in his office. But, that's why moving companies carry insurance, obviously, and, knock on, this isn't wood, but knock on metal, we, I think, came through with as much things as we did move over the course of that 2-day period of time. We were pretty successful.
I was amazed how fast that you guys got in there, and it's just relative to the leadership that you guys have over there, and appreciate it a lot.
Yep, absolutely. You're welcome.
I don't want it to be lost on anyone. There's been discussion for 20-plus years, as a lot of us know. The previous counselors, Jeff Matthews and Jason Delisle, Eileen, David, had a significant amount of involvement at the very beginning. I think it's important to mention them, as well as other employees that have maybe retired or left us as well. So it really has been a team effort in so many ways that can't even be properly explained. But I want to thank those folks I mentioned in particular.
I know she's going to sit or not say anything, but Eileen and Councilor Matthews sat on that committee that Tim spoke about that planned all that. A lot of meetings, was it Thursday mornings? Mm-hmm. Thursday mornings, and Captain Deerdorf alluded to my employment with the town. We're not going to say how long ago I started, but there may be a picture that may have been found of when I started that's floating around the new center. But if you would have told me then when I started that we'd have a facility that has all of the town departments and offices in one building, I wouldn't have believed you. This is fantastic. And all of you played a great part in it. I know this is a team effort. I mean, this is the town and the employees coming together for our police department, our clerk treasurer's office, for everybody that's in here. This is this is what our employees deserve, is a state-of-the-art facility, and I think that's what we have here. So.
Absolutely.
I agree. I think the facilities that we've moved out of and now into this one, even though parts of this building may be 50 or more years old, this building will last us another 50 to 75 years minimum, and that's really important. The technology that's been designed and built into the building. To your point, David.
There are some in this room that Chief Fishburne, I know, will remember. When I started on this town, I started as a dispatcher in a small room that had green carpet. And if you saw our dispatch facilities now, they are state-of-the-art. They are fantastic. So we've come a long way, and it's this is what our town employees are very much deserve. So.
I think Jacob said it best when you first came to work for the town, and we were at, was it 1010 Main?
Yeah.
And
Not when I worked, but when I moved to town.
when you moved to town and you were, and went in there and saw the, the operation, and, it basically was bare bones. And because with all the renovation and time and effort on Main Street, getting that cleaned up and invest, and it's only, it's critical that we invest in ourselves too.
Yep.
And moving forward. So I want to thank you all for all the work that you've done and everything that you will do. And Tim, you can stay around any longer. You don't have to retire. Thank you.
I think it's important, too, that I know our superintendent's here and Mr. Disney. I think it's important to include them in this conversation as well, to allow them to share this building with them to allow them to have more space at the high school to expand. It gets back to my previous statement. If you would have told me now we have schools and clerk, treasurer, and police and code enforcement, and this is great. And Tim Ramey, like you said, the other groups within town that are going to be able to use this, it's awesome. So, thanks.
All right, thank you very much. Great job. Next on the agenda, approval of the 2021 Boards and Commissions calendar. You want to speak to that, Kelly? Since you put it all together.
Yeah, we reformatted the calendar to move all of the boards and commissions into our new building. It's really nice now to be able to have everybody coming into one building versus multiple meetings across town on the same day. So with your approval, this will be the new boards and commissions calendar, and it outlines which room everyone will be in. If you've noticed, the rooms are actually named after the four founders of the town. So we have Allison, Wheeler, help me out here. Fisher and
Newby.
Good job, everyone.
You got it.
It was like a song
quiz.
behind me. So our conference rooms are named after those. It'll take us a little bit to get used to that, but the numbers are on there as well. So when you come in as a board member or commissioner, check the calendar beforehand, and you'll see where you need to go.
Kelly, I think you mentioned the schools, but I think it's important to mention that one of our conference rooms is named after one of our sister cities.
Correct. The overflow
Motegi.
room that is right here next to us is named the Motegi Sister City Room at this time, and we'll host some of the items that we've received as gifts from the students who have come to stay with us over the years.
All righty, good. As for a motion for approval of the Boards and Commissions calendar.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve the boards and commissions calendar as presented.
Got a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second, is there any comments? No questions? I call for a vote, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries 5-0.
I just think it makes sense to make another comment here as it relates to the calendar, meeting spaces, this meeting space, and the building in general. Again, thanking everybody that's been involved in it. I don't know that we mentioned our cable access employees. If we didn't, we should. They've been very busy trying to make this room work first so that we could have a meeting. And actually, I think there was a Board of Zoning Appeals meeting in here last week, and it went off fairly well. Worked out a few bugs between then and now, and there'll be more bugs that will come about because we will keep adding technology and improving things. So just ask the public to be patient with that. It'll take some getting used to in the rest of the building as well, but I think just want to make sure we mention that.
And that's my fault since I served on the cable commission. Brian and Bill, I can hear them in the background right now. So.
Okay, we'll move on. The appointment to the boards and commissions at EDC, in which that appointment is made by the city of Indianapolis.
Correct. So I guess the point would be to mention if there's anyone in the community interested in serving on the Economic Development Commission. It's not a board that meets all that regularly. It's an as-needed meeting timeline. Anyone that might be interested in that, please go on our website and look at the, it's not an application, it's an interest form. So.
Okay, we'll move on to item number 8, the approval of the Cinco de Mayo event and road closure. And Rick Hammer. I'm used to seeing your dad. Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Excited to be here, and I'm looking forward to a month of May. Hopefully all you are as well.
Absolutely. After missing last year, definitely want to make it double town. So what do you have planned on Cinco de Mayo?
So I guess in general, broad picture, Arrow McLaren SP, as a team, wants to stay involved in the community, wants to be involved in the community. Personally, there's a Speedway connection with me, but that it goes deeper than that. It goes to being able to use Arrow McLaren SP's assets for the betterment of the community to create an event that will bring people down to try to move away from some of the shutdowns and things that have happened all over the country, but certainly in the town of Speedway as well. So I guess that's the origination of the Cinco de Mayo on Main, presented by Mission, is the full name. What we'd like to do is close down certain parts of the road on Main Street to effectively allow proper distancing of, the entire community that wants to come down. The goal of the event is really to truly bring people down. There's no benefit other than that to this. It's for the town. We're looking, and we have partnered with Indianapolis Motor Speedway, IndyCar, as well as I'm working with the town on certain other pieces of the process in terms of road closures, various rental needs, those kind of things. So we want to leverage our partners at Arrow McLaren SP to come set up on Main Street and create a general event that will bring people down and try to spur some business on Main Street. That's, I guess, the general idea of the Cinco de Mayo event.
Sure. Now, will any of your drivers be there at the event?
Yeah, we'll look to bring both of our drivers down, Felix Rosenquist and Pato Award. Certainly, there's a connection with Pato's Hispanic heritage, and I guess I don't want that to be lost. This is part of this event. The fact that Speedway is a very diverse cultural town. This is a way to bring in and get involved and bring that the Hispanic community out to an event as well. So as much as this is a kickoff to the month of May, unofficially kickoff, it's also a celebration of Hispanic heritage and culture.
It's really close to Pato Award's birthday too, isn't it?
Quite.
That's great.
His birthday is the next day, so we may have a surprise or two lined up. I can't go into much detail there.
No, that's really great. And you're going to bring your transporters and things like that down there?
Yeah, so we would have a transporter there for display purposes. We also have our partners at McLaren looking to bring a road car down there, as well as an old 1972 Condor. I guess you call it an RV. It's a special piece in the heritage of McLaren, and it's a trip back in time. So we're looking to have that on display as well. Along with our presenting partner Mission, they would be involved in the sense of, having some of their products integrated into some of the sampling and those kind of things on the street, as well as hopefully there's going to be business integrations there as well. That's certainly a big part of this is integrating the businesses directly into the event.
Yeah, Rick, as we've talked beforehand, you may have said earlier, I'm not sure, but a real interest not just to get people on Main Street, but to frequent the businesses on Main Street, restaurants included in that. So your goal would be, even if we expect a bigger crowd than maybe what you're planning for, we'll keep planning and try and get food on the street in addition to the restaurants themselves.
Yeah, that's the benefit of affording the street closures, is giving the businesses extra store frontage to be able to come out. As well as just the general groups of the Hispanic groups that we might have come out. I think we were talking with Ballet Folklorico, Radio Latina, some other ones. And Indianapolis Motor Speedway has been very helpful in those,
that would be great.
Discussions. Yeah.
So what, just to let the public know what time this event would take place on the 5th?
It'd be from 4:30 to 7:30 on May 5th. Basically, the blockage would be from a little bit south of 16th Street up to right past Dolores Lake Gilman.
Okay.
Yep. And definitely the goal here is to be distanced, to be safe still. There won't be any central point of, engagement. There won't be a stage or anything like that. It's really just an opportunity to have people come out, see and experience some things they may have not seen or may want to see, and give people a chance to kick off the month.
That'd be fantastic. Any questions for Rick from the council? And you're working with public safety in relationship to making
Yes.
sure that as far as barricades and roads and parking and all that?
Yes, very appreciative of all the support that the town's given so far, and continue to look forward to that. We'll have various discussions coming up as well still to continue to plan and prepare for it.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. And I think at this time, I'll call for a motion for approval for the event, Cinco de Mayo in Maine. For approval.
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Any other questions for Rick? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor of approving the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries 5-0.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rick. No, thank you for bringing another event to Speedway.
Happy to do it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you can give rides, Chief would take a ride, I'm sure,
We'll see what we can do.
No,
In the Condor or the hauler?
Yeah, right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, next on the agenda is Ordinance 1339, and this is the second reading, the ordinance authorizing the issuance of the Town of Speedway Taxable Economic Development Revenue Bonds, Series 2021. So it's for the 1300 block of Main Street, and the loaning process therefore is the borough therefore, and authorizing the approving action in respect therefore. Second reading. Do you have a motion in relationship?
Mr. President, I'd like to make the motion that we approve ordinance 1339 as presented.
Okay.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
For our town attorney, does this require a public comment period, or was
Does
that done
not.
on the first?
It does not. You're always free to open it for public comment if you choose, but it is not required. It's not a public hearing. It was held previously by the EDC.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Also, thank you very much, David. I'm going to go ahead and call for the vote. And you approved it 5-0. And we'll move on to the next.
I don't think you'd call for the vote
No,
yet.
I don't think. So I'm going to go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor of approval of second reading of ordinance 1339, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, motion carries 5-0. Okay, number 10 is the approval of landscaping service extension agreements with Vibrant Outdoors. Tim, can you give us the lowdown on that?
Yeah, so we've had a biannual agreement with Vibrant Outdoors to handle the landscaping along the Holman Memorial Way. There's obviously a lot to handle there. The agreement's around $60,000 a year. As I said, it was every 2 years we would bid that out and bring it back up. So we had shifted this used to be in the SRC budget, and a few years back we shifted it to the street department budget. And the biannual contract was up the end of the year, and we did not get that renewed. We've reached out to Vibrant Outdoors, and they've agreed to extend that contract one additional year. So we're requesting that you approve that contract for 2021, and then we'll work on a solution for 2022 and beyond.
Okay. You might just let the public know about what's going on right now down Crawfordsville Road. in terms of all the poles?
Yeah, so we've been looking at, Holman Memorial Way has been somewhat neglected for several years now and has deteriorated in several ways. We had started looking at improvements with tuck pointing, painting, signage improvements, and it was just a few weeks ago, actually, Mr. Penske came to us and said, I want to make improvements along this corridor, and I'm willing to pay for those improvements. So we reviewed what they were looking to do, and they've started that process, which includes painting all the Holman Way signage from red to black. It will also be eliminating some of the hardware that hasn't been kept up, kind of turning the signs around and adding new banners to them as well. So it doesn't get everything done, but it has a vast improvement and is spending quite a bit of money to improve those. So I think it'll be a nice improvement to the entrance coming into the race this year.
Absolutely. It's a definite large investment, and I want to thank Roger for making that in Speedway. It's saved the town a lot of money and definitely increased the look of anybody driving in on race day in the whole month of May. Okay, is there any other?
Mr. President, I'm going to make a motion that we approve the extension agreement presented by Vibrant Outdoors.
Okay, I've got a motion. Is there a second?
I second.
Tim, what's the, I'm only doing this because you walked away, so you can walk back up.
Serves me right.
What's the amount that we paid last year on this?
I went back and looked. I didn't get the one from last year, but I think it was around $58,000, the previous contract. Do you have that one, Jacob? Or had it gone up from that one?
I don't have the original, but these are the terms were what we had gotten quotes on back in 2019, and so we've just they've just been agreeing to continue that same cost.
And it's just to the medians on Crawfordsville Road? What about like who takes care of the flower things on the Main Street and stuff?
Main Street, our street department actually handles that for us. So there is a little bit of landscaping on Main Street, kind of in front of Prax Air. But I'm not sure if that's this contract or a separate contract. I think that's part of this contract.
This is part of this. There's also a little bit of work on the roundabout that they help out with.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you mentioned that 58,000 or so was a 2-year total?
No, that's an annual
was per
total good for 2 years.
Okay,
They held
gotcha.
it for 2, and that was the 2017. The 18-19, I wasn't able to get a hold of Rob before this meeting, so it was in the same ballpark, though.
Okay.
Great. Any other questions for Tim? Hearing none, I'm going to call for the vote. All those are in favor of approving the landscaping service extension agreement with Vibrant Outdoors, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next on the agenda is approval of claims and utility adjustments from our town clerk treasurer.
Thank you, Mr. President. The claims presented to you for your approval represent claims made March 20th through April 9th. I'll take any questions or appreciate your approval.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the claims presented to us by Clerk Treasurer.
Second.
Okay, I've got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on the claims? Hearing none, I'm going to go ahead and call for a vote. All those in favor of approving the claims as submitted by the town clerk treasurer signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Carries 5-0. Next is the utility adjustments. And we got quite a few there.
Yeah, utility adjustments presented to you represent the same time period, March 20th through April 9th. We did have several. Only a couple of them are leak adjustments, which is what we typically see. There were several refunds of late payment, late fees. They get attached to bills. We're not sure if it was the Postal Service or a delay with our payment processor, but there were about 30 that we started getting phone calls right after the newest bills went out, people that typically pay their bills and had on time. So we're obviously making those adjustments because they were invalid late fees, and would appreciate your approval on all these adjustments.
Okay, do I have a motion for the approval of the utility adjustments as submitted by the town clerk treasurer?
Mr. President, I move that we approve the adjustments presented to us.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion concerning the adjustments made?
Before the vote, I will let the public know that I will be abstaining, as I was one of the phone calls. Because I called Sarah and my bill was double what it was, so I'm abstaining from this vote because I'm included in this.
Yeah,
You're in the paperwork?
I'm in the paper. Yes.
Okay.
It's a frustrating situation, so, and we apologize for the issue. Like I said, we do everything we can to get those processed, but sometimes there's a batch or whatever, and yeah, people get their bill thinking it's just going to be the standard bill, but it's double because your payment, the last payment wasn't recorded. In fact, there's also a late fee that's been tacked on, so it's a frustrating situation. We continue to work with our processor to try to minimize these instances. Of course, there's not a whole lot we can do about the Postal Service, but we do our best.
Okay. I got a motion and a second on the adjustments as submitted by the town clerk treasurer. I'm going to call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, motion carries 4-0.
401. I will abstain.
Okay.
If I could mention one other thing.
Sure.
So I'm happy to say that we are opening our office to the public tomorrow here at 5300 Crawfordsville, our new location. We, the new building, some adjustments we made on the fly, some of the many adjustments we made on the fly for a lot of various reasons, but some of those were obviously this building was under construction during COVID, so we have a glass partition between guests, visitors, and our staff, and so we feel like we can do it pretty safely. We're obviously going to keep monitoring numbers and trends and regulations, restrictions, those kinds of things, but folks are welcome to come in now. Of course, we've also learned during the pandemic, there's a lot that we can do remotely without needing to come in. And so, feel free to continue using those avenues as well. But we are open to the public tomorrow.
Has anybody used the drive-up drop box or at
Yep.
this? Good.
Yeah, it's open. People can use that. And we are still picking up payments at the old location, the blue box that was over there. We haven't set an exact deadline for when we're going to stop checking that. We'll make that very clear. But it's out in the future. We don't plan on stopping checking that anytime soon.
Great. Thank you. We'll move on to item 12. At this time, a report from department supervisors, and I'll ask Superintendent of Speedway Schools tonight to speak to the council. Appreciate Kyle you being here.
A little longer walk than
It is. That back row,
92 years ago, I know we can all think back to that day, 1928, when 1926, of course, the town of Speedway, 1928, a group of parents decided that they wanted to maybe do something different. And that was when the school town of Speedway became existent. And voila, we're still here. And 92 years ago is 2020. And my point here is that 92 years, we've come a long way. Our school corporation is very solid in almost every aspect that you could look at from 1928. And then March hit in 2020. In the last 13 months, we've changed more than all 92 years put together in those 13 months. Like everybody, we understand that. But how proud I am for all the people around us to understand the things that we've changed in those 13 months, including people in this room, in front of me, behind me, Mr. John Disney. We're going to give him a few days off this summer, but he's been running all COVID protocols for our school, and his phone was ringing a lot. But I'm very proud that we are one school corporation that we open August 5th. We've had 147 days opportunities for kids to come in person or virtual. 126 of those we've been in person, full house.
Wow.
Not like any place around us. as they've been on modified and they've been doing some in and outs. But we have been 126 days in person. 21 days of that was e-learning because we were through Dr. Kane and the Marion County Health Department, and we got through it. The point is we're through it, and we're now back to where in April and May, and guess what I'm here to report to you? We have a lot of events getting ready to happen. With safety protocols around, it's a little different, but tonight I'm proud to say that it has been one heck of a tour and one heck of a journey, but we're here, and now I'm going to share with you some of the great things because we're ready to get the kids back out in front, and that's what I'm about. That's what Mr. Disney's about. We're about the kids, and this whole school corporation, that's where it starts, student-centered. Important keywords as we go forward on that. Like I said, our safety protocols are continuing as we've done from day one. We feel very confident. I think, we have one positive case to our knowledge, but each and every day that changes throughout the times. But we had 3 weeks of 0 cases, and that was recent. So we are down to single digits, if not just 0 on most days after that transitions through. But we've changed our teaching methods. We've changed our delivery, our classroom rules, our school rules, traditions, end-of-the-year events, athletics, lunchtime, even bathroom time. We've had to change all that. But good things have come from this, too, because we are now working on a new communication platform, and it's time to move forward on some other technology things. As we started with about 1,000 Chromebooks, we now have over 1,800. We had 0 cases for those Chromebooks to go home, where most corporations had enough. Finding 1,800 Chromebook cases was a major challenge for us. That's a lot of cases. So we have the chargers, we have hotspots. We're ready to go. We are really in a good spot now from this day forward for the next many, many, many years to be technology on that cutting edge. And our teachers have learned to teach a little differently or a lot differently. And again, my hat's off to them. Everything, though, is interrelated, from our school corporation to the town to all of the wonderful departments that are here that are going to present behind me and give you the reports. And I just can't say thanks enough. We had our first snow day in a few years that we got through, and I just like to thank the street department and it just takes a team to make this thing work. So thank you for all that. Upcoming events. I'm going to give you a few because we do have many, and on our website then we'll post all these. We're still trying to finalize some of the protocols that we'll be allowed to do, but the big ones at the very end. We're going to have our top 10 award program at the high school, and if I can send this out so you don't have to write all these down because I'm going to ramble on pretty fast on dates and such. May 5th and Wednesday in Jordan Auditorium, we're going to have a top 10 awards program. We're going to do the honor night, which we bring in. That's about a 3-hour program of a lot of money that goes out. I'm very proud of that night, but that will be virtual again for this year since there's so many people that come in and out. And that will be Thursday, May 20th. Derek Dorman's working on that. The Baccalaureate is going to be in the Pollard Gymnasium on Sunday, May 23rd at 7 p.m. We just have a big space to do that instead of usually in Speedway Baptist and some other places. But we're going to have that and host that in the Pollard Gymnasium. And then commencement, we're going to go Thursday, May 27th at 7 p.m. in the new air-conditioned Pollard Gymnasium. We'll have it nice and cold for everyone there at 7 p.m. And we believe that Principal Claiborne, Mr. Claiborne's working on the details right now to get to the next step of hopefully we can have everyone that wants to come can come, but we're still working on protocols for that. So proud on that. We are very financially responsible, but we are very cautious still. We still aren't out of this quite yet. We'll continue to be diligent on how we spend and sustainable for whatever we do to continue. So we just appreciate you all. Thank you for having me here, and I'll open for any questions. I did leave a whole row of other things out. I do want to make a comment that our theater group's doing Little Mermaid, a musical, April 30th and May 1st, and that's one of the things I always look forward to on the musical. Spring concert for the high school. Amy Moll's pushing the envelope to continue doing everything that she's doing, and she's even doing the spring swing, I was told today, in Meadowood Park on May 15th. So we're changing what we're doing. We're making it work, and I believe that's what's important for the kids.
Fantastic.
Speedway schools.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, thank you very much. Any questions?
Kyle, you mentioned some of those events in the music department and in theater and so on. And I know there's obviously spring sports has started as well. Now, are people able to attend those, or what?
You are.
Okay.
Yeah, there was limitations before, but now that I was in a travel base, I think the whole world's there now. So,
Yeah.
I mean, for us and IHSAA, we're still following the protocols and whatnot, but being outside helps a lot.
Sure.
So, I mean, we have over 80, 90 kids out for track right now. That's not bad, out 525. Nick Beard's our head coach there, and then our team of coaches are tremendous. We actually got an email the other day saying that the other team was so impressed with how respectful our kids were. And out of anything we all do, that makes you happy. That makes you a happy community. So we have a lot of kids out for sports right now, too.
They love to get outside. Yeah, I bet.
Dr. Trable, I have one quick question about the communications you mentioned. What's kind of your plan? I know that's something I talked to you about last time. What's kind of your plan on that? Kind of how's that moving forward, and kind of where things stand today?
Yeah, like the last time we talked, I wanted to make sure we ran it through the parents and made sure that we're all together on what we wanted to do of some sort. We got a lot of positive feedback, and there was a lot of yeses. We knew we would go through the SPT meetings in the elementaries, the junior high, and the high school. So the feedback that we got, I'd like to start something no later than June. We have a meeting with Parent Square that we can finally get a communication platform out that we can do blasts on information that's going out. So it was a good process. We went through it. We asked opinions. We asked what people wanted, and we have a pretty good idea now what direction to go. So we're going to do online registration next year. I didn't say kindergarten roundup is going on in April. And we have that posted all over the place, so.
I'll be there.
Well, yeah, good. We want them all. Yes, kindergarten roundup.
I don't know, you want to be careful.
But that's the point.
We're doing our best.
I have your number. Gotcha. So anyway, it's moving along, and it's going to be, I want everything up and running this summer. Hopefully in June, we can move into the upstairs, and we're just very thankful, and thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now, Tim Gropp.
Again.
Shortened version, right?
I don't think I'm that enthusiastic tonight.
Yeah.
I'm still on a vacation hangover here, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll run through a few things here. I know we're running a little long tonight. I wanted to give a few updates. One, Tim Ramey is never here, so he can underplay his role, but he really has made things so much easier on us in a lot of ways. And for those that don't know, he is retiring, his second retirement in a few months. So I just brought that up. First of all, I'll say thank you, because Tim's usually not in the audience for council meetings, so we can't say enough about him. But we will also be posting a job position, hopefully this evening, if not tomorrow, for an executive assistant that will kind of be all encompassing for administration. To kind of, it's going to take a full-time job to replace Tim here. So we're not looking forward to Tim leaving, but if you know somebody local that is interested, keep an eye out for that as well. So coming up here real soon.
Absolutely. Maybe somebody from the schools might be able to help us out on filling a position.
There you go.
Yeah.
Around town, tons going on. I'll give you the very short version. We did have a BZA meeting last week where we got approval on some of our improvements. The overflow lot for the Wilshaw project / public lot down on 16th Street was approved, as well as improvements that we'll be taking on 1426 Main to make that parking lot more permanent and safer for pedestrians. A couple other projects that got improved there will allow both Dawson's and Barbecue and Bourbon to expand some of their outdoor seating options. So we're excited about that as well as things loosen up here. And on the Wilshaw project, we continue to work with the development partners on amending the economic development agreement. We're getting close on that. The developer has found a new financing path and is progressing through that process.
Just to let you know, Tim, and let the public know, I had a conversation with Drew Loftus last week, and I told him that town would be very much appreciated if he would invest a little time and effort in cleaning up the site. There's a lot of fences down. There's a lot of weeds still up. And he definitely acknowledged that. and he said he would, move to work to correct it. And he's working with the Indianapolis Arts Council, who during the NCAA basically used his buildings downtown as areas to put some artwork on and some things that would dress it up a little bit. But in this transition, I told him that during the month of May, we would really want to see something happening and hopefully groundbreaking to restart that project, if not the least, make it look halfway presentable.
Yeah, I think that's very important. Whereas we're still pinning down the exact timeline, they finalized their term sheet, and we expect, the loan approval in the next week or two. Once we have that pinned down, we're able to get a better timeline on when actual financing closing happens, as well as when construction can commence. So we don't want to give any exact dates yet, but things seem to be progressing pretty well. We need to tighten up the economic development agreement amendment, and we'll continue on from there. So progress is being made. We want to make sure we're taking it a step at a time and that it gets done. That's the important thing. And it's important that that site looks well, especially since we'll be hosting people in May.
Yeah, I think with Rick Hammer in the audience, with Arrow McLaren SP, he and their corporation last September when the 500 happened, they did a really nice job of wrapping the fence, and we still have those banners from what I understand, but something along those lines I think is what you're talking about, Vince, in terms of
absolutely
art on the fence and maybe even on the building.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just for what my opinion's worth, I'd rather see the thing being built than sitting there, nothing going on and having to clean it up.
Yep. We're actually
Which I know we're trying to
well.
get to, but, and I know we voiced our frustration quite a bit about that, but.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you.
I feel like we're making some progress now, and we're just anxious to kind of give a better timeline, so hopefully we'll be able to do that sooner and later.
Yeah.
But we don't want to get ahead of ourselves because we've seen how that's worked out in the past as well. So beyond that, around town, as I mentioned, we'll be going out for bid on several projects. There are several projects that are getting ready to break ground, including expansion at OMR. Crew car washes permits have been issued. We're waiting on them to break ground anytime. Aldi's is moving full force ahead. We have a couple other projects out at Founder Square that are getting ready to break ground. That'll be a little bit of a logistic dance that we have to do because just the Aldi traffic alone for construction is taking up a lot of the road. So when you start adding 2 or 3 projects out there, it's going to be some coordination. So bear with us. We'll probably be keeping that road closed during some of this construction time as much as we can until some of those businesses start opening. So we'll communicate through Kelly and any changes that need to happen out that way. So those are the main ones I have at this time. One last follow-up on just thanking people for this building. David Rainey happened to mention Meyer Najum. We were able to keep them on from the original bid, and that proved to be very valuable to us, having the team Kevin McGovern, John Kilberry, and Kevin Funk. We're just, between them and Dave, they handled most of the issues that came up and came to us with what do you want us to do, and then they handled it for us. So that was an invaluable service, and they did a fantastic job, and I just wanted to acknowledge that as well.
Thank you.
Questions? All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Chief Campbell.
Good evening. A couple things. This Saturday is Shred It, and we spend a lot of time talking about Shred It, the importance of shredding those things that you don't want out into the public. The difference, and again, it's 2 to 10 or 10 to 2. The difference is it will still be at 1410. The manner in which we can flow traffic just seems to work much better until we figure out here what would be an alternative. So this Saturday is Shred It. The other one is we've got 2 officers who graduated last week, well, actually on April 8th. They had, due to COVID, they'd been one of those start, stop. They did formally graduate on the 8th. So Kyle Ball and Hunter Dalkey will be our two new. They've already been through FTO, so they'll hit the street, as soon as we can get them back here. So, and then the last one is tomorrow we'll do a tabletop for about 3 to 4 hours concerning the 500. And it's not that we've never done one before, but it just continues to show, we've got to be ready for whatever kind of incident or event. And there's a lot of new folks at IMS that, it'll be good for them to understand some of the policies and procedures that go with, whatever would happen at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Chief, what do you mean tabletop when you say that?
What you have is scenarios. This particular group is actually a federal level. DHS, provides them to do an actual tabletop, and then they go through and ask questions. How would you handle whatever that situation is? And it can range anything from an active shooter to weather, which we all know that weather is a major concern. But, it gets down in a little bit into the weeds as to how do you deal with that? Who does what? Who makes what decisions? What kind of backup resources, logistics, that you'll need in the event that that particular incident occurred. So it's interesting, but like I said, we've done a few. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
thank you.
Thank you. Chief Fishburne.
Yeah, good evening. We'll be a part of the tabletop also. It's nice having a guy like Jim in the room there because he spent 10 years at the Motor Speedway, many years at IMPD. So he has a unique way of giving us all a little bit of ease. It eases our mind because he's seen a lot and done a lot with the track. Actually, Chris Milhorn, my assistant chief, myself, Jim, Chuck, I think Jason, Sam, we'll all be here in the new conference room doing that together. The Motor Speedway will have their people in the media center distance, and then the federal people will be in DC and Virginia and those places. So kind of this one's being driven federally. And we've done several with the Indiana Department of Homeland Security ourselves. So we actually began lining up and sending out invitations, even though we're not sure what the race is going to look like, for the other Marion County departments that help us man mainly carb day and race day, because that's where we utilize all the Marion County departments from everywhere. So we've started coordinating that, Chris and I. All of our guys have just finished up their CPR training. We now do that in-house. We had 3 of our guys certify as instructors, save money going outside to an outside source to do that, and then those guys can use those credentials to actually make extra money on their days off. So we just finished that, and that's really all I have, except to recommend to Councilor Lindsay. They have this really cool automated payment thing that is offered, and you never get that bill. You never get it. It's
you get the bill, but you don't have to worry about
right.
It. It just gets paid. So
Chief, we'll talk. You know I love you. You know I love you. Thank you. You guys have any questions?
I got one question for you. You mentioned Carb Day, and, has there any changes in relationship since they're not having the concerts? Does that affect your mobilizing?
Well, it affects, I know they're not having none of the concerts, but
Again, the announcement should come sometime in the very near future, maybe even this week, but there'll be no events, scheduled, which affects Carb Day and some of those, but we'll still have a Carb Day.
oh yeah, I mean, we'll still have to roll up what we almost always do, with the exception of.
Carb Day's got to be the second busiest of all the events.
Right.
At the track, and but they will limit any of the other outside activities, snake pits and those kinds of ventures.
Great.
And we don't yet know, so, we don't know what we're preparing for, so we're just preparing like we always have, and we can always gear back or we'll be ready, so.
Great, thank you. Thank
Okay.
you very much. Tammy Smith, Parks Department.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Well, I'm excited to say that we finally have our summer parks program done, and it will be going out to the schools probably tomorrow. Registration should be open hopefully by the end of the day tomorrow or no later than Wednesday for people to go online and start registering. So I want to thank the schools again for partnering with us, for us to be able to use their facilities. It's a nice partnership, and it's nice. I was real excited that Dr. Trebley mentioned the spring swing that the band is going to do at Meadowood Park. They've let us use their facilities, so it's nice that we're able to give back and let them use our facilities under the circumstances. In addition to that, we're also partnering with the library, and they're going to be doing some of their summer programming in the park as well, due to COVID and trying to keep social distance. So we're offering that to them as well. So that's an exciting thing. We do have a couple sponsors that have committed to donate to our concert, so I'm very excited about that. We're still running quite a bit behind, but we also have a couple of bands that have been willing to step up and give us a really great deal. So we are already able to have 4 concerts this year, so I'm excited about that. Hopefully we'll still get some more sponsorship money coming in so we can at least get 2 more and have our usual 6 concerts this summer. I also want to thank, I found out today we had another donation from community members, the Miller family, and I wanted to acknowledge them because all donations, whether they're from businesses or community members, help the parks out, helps us fund our programs. One of the things that we do is offer few scholarships to those families who are unable to have their kids do programs due to financial reasons, so we're able to offer that to some of them. Some parks improvements and some of our events are funded by the donations that we receive, so I just wanted to thank the Miller family for that donation. I also just want to thank everybody for their patience. I know we're a little behind on getting the camp stuff out, but there was a lot of logistical stuff with COVID still being around, making sure we're doing all the right protocols. We have had to modify the camps, but working with the schools, I think we've got a good plan, and we're able to offer quite a bit, not the usual list, but quite a bit, so I'm excited about that. And I just want to thank the community for their patience. They've been very gracious and understanding with us moving into this building, which it's so excited to finally be here. And we're getting our nose to the grindstone now and getting busy, so I'm looking forward to a fun summer.
Fantastic.
And that's all I have.
Any
Thank
questions?
you.
Thank you, Tammy.
Thank you, Tammy.
Next is Norm Berry.
Good evening again.
Yeah.
So I'll be brief. The Water Department, Luke reports that currently all the wells, the groundwater wells, are being chemically cleaned and flow tested. And then this week, they'll be bringing the surface water treatment plant online and taking down the groundwater plant and giving it a rest. He says it deserves a rest after 6 months of working hard.
Okay.
Rob at the Street Department, they're concentrating their efforts right now on yard waste pickup. They're doing some street and curb painting, and then, of course, the mowing and weed control of all the common areas. As far as the wastewater plant, no major problems to report. Last month, we treated and returned 156 million gallons of water back to Eagle Creek. And then finally, our department administers the industrial pretreatment program. So I think most of you might be familiar with that, but the town issues permits to most of the major industries so that we can monitor their wastewater discharges that come to the plant. So like I said, our department administers that program. Every 5 years, IDEM comes in and audits that program. And so they will be here on April the 27th and 28th to do that audit. That's all I have.
Any questions for Norm?
Thank you.
No, thank you. Next is our Communications Director, Kelly Turner.
Thank you. I wanted to piggyback on what Chief Campbell was talking about with the Shred It Day. We have a new event this year that we're adding to our what we'll call our spring cleanup programming. On April 17th will be Shred It, and the following weekend, April 24th, the Community Development Corporation will host a dumpster day. This will take place at the same location, the 1410 Lyndhurst, the old police station. We'll have several dumpsters available where residents can pull up and empty their trucks or cars or whatever they have. There's a list of approved and unapproved items on our website and our social media, so check that out. We want to encourage everyone to check out their yards, their alleyways, their homes, and find anything that they can declutter, get rid of as we prepare for a lot of guests to come to town in May. So those two opportunities can both be found on our website and our social media.
Kelly, I just want to mention, it's important that contractors are not to use those dumpsters, right? It's residents.
Correct.
It's not building contractors and so forth.
Yes, and for the dumpster day, it is for Speedway residents only. And so, yes, please keep it to just Speedway residents. Make sure that you check out that unapproved list before you come. There are a few things like paint, mattresses that we will not be accepting. And it will run from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., just like the Shred It Day. But if those dumpsters fill up before 2 p.m., we will close down for the day. So make sure you get there early and bring all your junk that you don't want anymore.
Okay.
I did want to thank the Lions Club for hosting the Easter Bunny again this year. With the support of the police department and Hoosier Analytics, we were once again able to parade the Easter Bunny around town to wave hello to everyone. I saw a lot of people out smiling and excited to see us go by. So that was a great feature to have both during COVID and still again this year with being able to keep social distancing and still bring some joy to the community. We are currently still working on the farmers market. Keep an eye on that Facebook page for some more updates on when that will be. It'll still be the market on Main. We're looking at the first week or two in May, and we'll have more details about what vendors will be out there. We have about 17 that have expressed interest at this point. So it's looking to be a good event for us. And Tammy and I have learned a lot through our training course that we've been taking through the Purdue Extension, and hopefully we can apply that to our market here in Maine. I did want to include that the bike night planning is going very well. That's going to be the third Wednesday of each month, starting in May through October. Todd Cunningham has been working very hard on that with lots of businesses getting involved. I think last time I spoke to him, over 20 businesses in Speedway had indicated that they'd like to be involved somehow. So if you haven't checked that out, they have a Facebook group called Speedway Bike Nights, and you can jump on there. Last time I checked, there were over 400 bikers on there. So expect that Wednesday to be a pretty busy day on Main Street with lots of specials and hopefully some good activities as well. The SCTV has been working hard, as you guys mentioned earlier. If you'll notice, as you're watching this evening from home, the video is a lot clearer. You can see everything, so you know, it's kind of bad for me being up here, but it's good for people at home. They can actually see what's going on. The audio is much better, and that's in large part thanks to the council for helping get this set up for us and approving all of the purchases to make sure that it was an HD compatible room. We had been working in standard definition, which is the most outdated way we could have done it besides a newspaper. Sorry, Brocky. As it came out of my mouth, I was like, oh no. Speaking of, though, well, since Brocky is here and he's representing Speedway Town Talk, they have upped their game on social media. So if you have not liked their page on Facebook, they are doing a great job at sharing information, making sure that all information in the community is accessible. So go ahead and find them on Facebook and make sure you follow them. And the last thing I wanted to mention, we've said a lot of thank yous tonight for the different things in the building. I wanted to mention that the sign behind our counselors and the seal on the desk were created by Greg Zirkle at Fox Marketing Group, and he has done a great job with the exterior of the building as well as some of the signage inside that we're still working on, still trying to get finalized. And he's been really great to work with, and I wanted to thank him for his hard work and efforts into making it look great. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good question, Kelly. So since we're in the new building, are you planning an open house for residents to come through?
Eventually. So it is still on our radar to have an open house. We're working hard just to get this room ready for tonight's meeting and get our art out here in the lobby. A lot of us are still working on getting offices set up. So in the near future, we will start recording videos for the virtual tour, and we'll get that out online first. And then with council's approval and our staff being prepared, we will start the process of planning an open house with a grand opening and ribbon cutting for the building.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Kelly.
We'll move on to reports from councilors. Eileen Fisher.
So I just want to, now that we're in the new building, I never really thought that we would see this day. And being on council for 12 plus years, I know that has always been a vision. And this was always the perfect spot for it. And always told that the bank was not interested in selling us the property or anyone else for that matter. But here we are today. So, it just sort of goes to say, if you have your dream, follow it. There was a lot of hard work in getting here. There was many times, as Jacob said, that going through those processes and the bidding part of it, that we thought there's no way we can do this or afford it. And but we're here, and it is a great building. Our employees do deserve this building. And it is something to see. It was, 2 years ago that we had our State of the Town here, and I know a lot of people walked through the building at that point in time with ceiling tiles out, a lot of different things. It is absolutely beautiful and something to definitely come see, and that's why I asked Kelly if we're going to do an open house, and I know that we would eventually, but you just drive by it even outside, and it's has improved this corner 1,000 times over again, and it's just so exciting to be part of it. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Councilor listening.
First thing I want to publicly ask is our clerk treasurer. My payment was received on time, correct, Mr. Clerk?
We believe so, yes.
Just wanted to make that known to the public. Just a couple things. Kelly's thanked Bill and Brian and Kelly as well. I totally feel bad for not mentioning them sooner, but they have been behind the scenes, getting a lot of work done still while getting videos out to the public. So tip of the hat to them. And then one thing to mention for the public, because this is in my district, if you're going to be traveling High School Road between now and October, expect a lot of traffic. Dandy Trail is closed from 34th Street. I believe it's from Crawfordsville Road. So all that traffic has been diverted to down High School Road, and it is a mess. So I'm not telling you to avoid High School Road, but I'm avoiding it now during rush hour. So just kind of keep that in mind. I've had people call saying, I knew you should have never put a traffic light at 25th on High School. That is not why traffic's backed up. It's because Dandy Trail's closed. So have some patience and expect some long lines of traffic there through, I think it's at least October. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Councilor Gary Pettigo.
Thank you. Short list here. First of all, another tip of the hat to all parties concerned and involved in making this facility happen. Specifically, the move-in too. I know has been challenging for everybody. Tim, all the department heads, Kelly, Dave. So once again, thank you. Number two. Remind everybody, if you have not yet already, consider getting that COVID shot. Still plenty of time to get that done. And then number three, I got a text this afternoon from our street commissioner, Rob Wetnight. So I want to make a shout out to him. He took his wife to urgent care this afternoon, not feeling well, not really aware of why, so that's why he had to take her to get her checked out, and I have not heard any response. So just want him to know my thoughts and prayers are with him and his wife. That's it.
Thank you. Vice President Gary Riggs.
Not a lot of anything new to report that what hasn't been said this evening, so I'll just concur with the comments about this facility and the effort that was put forth. Whenever you thank people, you start a list, and you never get to all the people that really contributed. So I'm sure we'll think of someone on the drive home or after the mics go off and all. But just excited that we're continuing the progress here in town. This building and bringing the different groups, police, et cetera, into this facility gives us opportunity to continue to develop other parts of town, and that's certainly what we're planning to do, and I'm excited about that because we did start talking about this facility 22 years ago, 23 years ago. Anyway, I'll cut that there and just I want to thank my neighbor Scott Morrow. He cut my grass when I was on vacation for an extended period, and I returned the favor yesterday. But without that, I probably would have been getting a citation from code enforcement. So I came back to a jungle and he'd already cut it once. So the fertilizer was working. So I do thank Scott for that. That's all. Thank you.
I want to thank John and Kyle tonight for showing up. I think one thing that Tim Gropp said after he shortly moved into this building, he met more police officers and interfaced with more departments than previous. And I'm looking forward to the school's administration being here in the building. I think it will bring us closer together as a town. And I think that's important as we work as a team to bring service to our community from a schools, town perspective. All the services bring together and rely on the expertise of a lot of people in this room right now. And I want to thank everybody for basically having the vision and really looking out, 20 years. It reminds me in 2005 when we started redevelopment. And we think, oh, there's no way. We got a blighted Main Street. There is no way that we can change this. And I think by sitting here today and planning events like Rick has brought to Main Street changes a person's perspective of what happens in this community and that it's well worth living here and having a business in Speedway and growing up here. And I think it basically evolves the model that we always say, workplace and live in the town of Speedway. And I really feel honored to be here at this point in time and see that come true. But again, if there's no other things to bring in front of the council, it is 8:32. Call it adjourned. It's a record.